Hi, everyone. This is Danny Hogger. And if you're trying to decide what kind of college to go to, private, junior college, or state school, I did all three. And a former student of mine when I was high school teaching just wrote me a message, and it got me thinking this video may be useful. And so if you're trying to decide which college route is right for you or what you want to do after school, hopefully this video will give you some tips. Like and subscribe if this is an important topic to you. We would really appreciate it. All right, so I got a note, and this is what kicked off the video, saying I wanted to let you know that I transferred to Cal State Fullerton partially because of your recommendation. I've really been enjoying it. I feel like I found where I belong, so I just wanted to thank you. And I'm loving the new album. It's called Another Year Behind. If you're interested in indie music, if you like 90s, 2000s alternative pop rock, go check it out. Well, thank you to my former student for that note, and that's why I wanted to sit down and do this. So I graduated from high school in Stockton, California, which was sort of at that time like our challenging mid-tier city with a high crime and not a lot of opportunities. So I decided that college was an important route for me to go. I got the best financial assistance offer from a small school in the Bay Area called Dominican University of California. They were offering me $12,000 a year, and aside from the University of the Pacific in Stockton, which is offering me $6,000 a year, I figured, well, they seem to value me and I want to have small classes. I'm going to go to this place in San Rafael and start my university there. I was a 3.57 GPA, maybe about 60th in my class of about 400. So kind of middle upper tier, but not the top of the class. And I was looking to do radio, TV, and film or communications. Everything that I wanted to do seemed to fall under that broad program. I got to Dominican. It was $43,000 a year at that time. Housing was another $10,000 to live on campus in the dorms. Very, very expensive. And I wasn't that cognizant of how much of a sacrifice that was for my parents. I got there, though, and I loved it. All of my teachers, my professors, were called by their first name. Many of them had written the textbooks that were used in our classes. They all had doctorate degrees and had been teaching for a long time. The campus was beautiful, over 100 years old, over 100 different kinds of trees, very friendly. In fact, if you didn't show up to class, sometimes they would come knocking on your dorm. The average class size was 10, and it was that tight-knit. Calling your professors by their first name is pretty cozy. And I loved it. I met my wife there. There were just about everybody was friendly, kind, and you got to know everyone on a first name basis. Very small campus. So why did I leave? How come I ended up at junior college and then a state school? About a year and a half in, I was realizing the stress and strain the finances were putting on my family. I actually sat through a Speech 101 class where a girl talked about making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for her how-to speech. First, you put the jelly on the bread, then you flip it over. And my teacher said, you're not going to get out of this assignment a 15-minute speech by just doing a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Improvise. Don't insult me. Use your time. Instead of talking about something else or just filling time, she just said the same peanut butter and jelly sandwich thing over and over and over. This was a Speech 100 class, but I turned my paper over and wrote out how much each class was costing my family, and I went to the bursar and pulled out of college right then. Not a happy phone call for your mom to hear. At the same time, there were so many pros. I got to take radio classes right away, along with my general education classes. I was able to broadcast and do play-by-play for the basketball team right away my freshman year. You don't get those opportunities at a lot of large schools. Also, just really, really liked my teachers, including Melba Beals, who was one of the Little Rock Nine who integrated Central High School in 1957. I had a civil rights icon as a teacher directing the communications department at Dominican. Oh, I loved it so much. And I still have friends. We do Friendsgiving every year from my core that I met, even though I was only there 3 semesters. But the finances, I just couldn't think about how I was ever going to make that money back and be able to pay off what would have projected to be $200,000 in loans. So I stepped out. I went back to Stockton. It did feel like a step back at the time, but I reconnected with a couple high school friends. We went to classes together, and that felt great. And honestly, at San Joaquin Delta College in Stockton, California, I had some amazing teachers. Paula Scheel was a journalism instructor who had written for all sorts of publications, and she taught me how to be creative, find my voice. I put together a guitar tab book with lyrics. I was just starting to write songs. She encouraged me and motivated me, was very passionate, and was a great teacher. I'm so thankful that I had the chance to be in her class. I got the credits I needed to transfer because I had taken some classes like birds and the environment, which is not offered at public school. I had to take geology. I had to retake a few courses, right? That was a bit of a setback. But cost-wise, wow, $20 a unit at that time. I think it's even free now for some students. And I learned a lot. I got classes done very quickly. I took my first online classes and I piled and pioneered and plowed through those so quickly and learned a decent amount, had some good experiences, nothing really bad to say there. So then I finally had the credits to transfer. I moved down to Orange County, took a couple classes left at Fullerton Junior College. It's college number 3. Similar experience. I didn't have any life-changing courses there, but I got credits and it was very good facilities, good computer usage, good technology, and easy to get in and out. And there I was at Cal State Fullerton. I had gone from classes sizes of 11 to 36,000 students in the student body population, a small city, the second biggest school in California. There, I learned how to compete. I learned that with a limited number of resources, you want to get in the radio station, you got to really fight to get in. I did that. Became the general manager. Now suddenly I have 75 students coming in and out making radio shows every day. They became my close friends, my staff mates, my colleagues. That was a rich experience because there were so many people from all over. The downside, it was a commuter school, and a lot of people split, and you wouldn't see them outside of classes, or they'd go their separate ways, or after graduation, they're in LA, they're in San Bernardino, they're in San Diego. Man, they spread out quickly. But I loved that school, living in that area, going to Angels games. I ended up working for the Angels radio station, had friends that worked at Disneyland. What a beautiful, beautiful part of Southern California. And I loved that too. I stayed there for 2 years and got my degree in radio, TV, and film with a minor that I'd already completed in women's studies from Dominican, and was in the middle of a great housing recession where there was huge unemployment. But a friend from Dominican, someone I just knew a little bit, remembered that I was kind and nice and friendly, got me an audition for NBA 2K to do voiceovers, and that later, after being professional, showing gratitude, writing thank you emails, and waiting 6 months in between, eventually turned into a part-time, then a full-time job, which I'm still doing now. And in the meantime, I was a teacher for 8 years, and I worked in nonprofit fields. I had a diverse array of experiences, and that's because Dominican taught me how to get out of my shell and speak well. Fullerton taught me how to put that into practice. And they were all beautiful experiences. I wish I could have had 4 years at each. I don't think there's a wrong path as long as you set your goals for yourself, are honest and diligent with your work, and you're kind to people, and you keep those connections to be the lifelong friends that you need to pull you through, to network, and to guide you. Those are the 3 biggest things. And then I was a high school teacher for 4 years, and about half my students didn't go to college. And that's fine too. If you've got a path to start making money right away, to start paying bills, to live on your own, to be independent, to travel, to be creative, that is all fantastic. The same principles apply. Make contacts, get business cards, speak professionally, don't put anything in print or in video or in text that you wouldn't want shown to your grandmother, and just carry those principles of success, and I know you're going to do well too. If you have questions, put them down in the comments, and I don't mind. I'll go roll through and answer. I hope anybody will watch this. Share this with anybody in high school or college who's struggling with the direction. Hopefully that's beneficial to them. And hey, check out Danny Hager Music in the meantime. Again, I loved each experience. They were each very valid. There were bad days, there were boring days, there were sad days, but that's life. Overall, college was probably the greatest time of my life. And here I am now, happy to talk about it, happy for those experiences. Thank you. Be safe, be well, be kind. Leave your comments for me down below. Thank you to all my teachers, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to support Danny Hager Music. Bye, everybody.